Woohoo! Walter, are you comfortable there? You like gonna do this every night?
Being buried in sand at Gilgo Beach. Yesterday I was buried in sand for the first time in my life, and what I thought until a little while ago would probably be the only time in my life. This happened during a day trip to Gilgo Beach, which most people who've never been there know only as the Suffolk County, Long Island dumping ground for the remains of a number of murdered female sex workers. A suspect in at least 3 of those murders, a hulking 59-year-old architect named Rex Heuermann, was arrested on July 20th, 2023, 4 days before my trip to Gilgo Beach. Henceforth, I'm afraid, Heuermann's name will forever be linked to Gilgo Beach. Was the beach named after a Gilgo? No, it supposedly got its name in the late 19th century when locals seeking good fishing were told to go where Gil goes, with Gil being Gil Birch, a renowned local fisherman. With English spelling being so unphonetic, a topic that was actually discussed during my stay at Gilgo Beach, someone not knowing any better might call it Gilgo Beach. After all, doesn't New York State currently have a female U.S. senator whose surname is spelled Gillibrand and is pronounced Gillibrand? But I think Gilgo sounds better. It's certainly more reminiscent of dildo, an object that no doubt has been used at Gilgo Beach late at night on at least one occasion. Incidentally, am I the only fan of the spelling bee puzzle in the Sunday New York Times Magazine who wonders why DILDO is not deemed a common enough word to be listed as a possible solution when the 7-letter hive in a particular puzzle includes the letters D, I, L, and O? Is some kind of vestigial Puritanism at work here? Also, am I the only person who thinks the aforementioned Rex Heuermann bears at least a passing resemblance to the once and potentially future President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump? Had the Trump family name remained Drumpf, the resemblance might have seemed even stronger. Gilgo Beach wasn't even on my radar screen when 2 dear friends of mine, Mexican-born Ernesto Villalobos and his Russian-born wife Inga, invited me to accompany them there, along with their baby daughter Leia and a female friend of theirs from Puebla, Mexico, nicknamed Meti. Connoisseurs of Mexican music, particularly of the son jarocho style associated with the state of Veracruz, may already know Ernesto as the eldest of the Villalobos brothers, a trio of outstanding violinists, singers, and songwriters. Middle brother Alberto drove to Gilgo Beach separately and met us there. It was at Gilgo Beach, as the sun was setting and we were preparing to leave, that Ness and Beto buried me in the sand. I was taken aback when one of them asked me if they could do so, but after giving it a little thought, I said, "Why not? There's always a first time for everything, and what did I have to lose at age 78? One of their stated motives was to entertain 2-year-old Leia, but she turned out to be minimally interested, as can be seen in the fast-forwarded video shot by Inga of Ness and Beto performing what could hardly be called a dirty deed, considering how clean sand really is. As for me, I couldn't help thinking I was being buried alive along with all my unshared poems. Until now, I've done so little sharing. Ironically, the person I've shared my poetry with the most in recent years has been Ness, the elder of my Gilgo Beach buriers. In making this video, I was thinking of reciting several beach-related poems of mine. These would have focused on my nearly lifelong obsession with Musclemen and my hunt for them as a beachgoer on several continents. But it dawned on me to put off reciting such poems until I was buried in sand again at another beach later this summer. That could easily be arranged. I would then be like a horizontal Vinny, the character who does a lot of talking while standing buried up to the waist and then up to the neck in Samuel Beckett's play, Happy Days. Beckett's title may be ironic, but for me, the experience would probably be anything but unhappy. As a retired copy editor, I can't let even minor slips go uncorrected once I detect them. The name of the vertically buried character in Beckett's Happy Days is not Vinny, but Winnie. The only other character in the play is Winnie's long-suffering husband, Willie.